to this week's video where today we are going to be looking at one of my biggest and hardest pieces. So this was inspired by Solarbo's new banner that they posted on their socials just a while ago. And when I saw it, I knew I had to draw it as humans because it just looked so good. There was this feeling that it conveyed that made me so happy, and it felt like, oh my gosh, I have to draw this. So, the speed paint you just looked at was the sketch because if I showed you the sketch in my normal recording, then it would end up 5 minutes, and I can't let this video extend for more than 10 minutes. That's way too boring. So here you go. That's the sketch in Procreate Speed Paint, and here's the liner. The rendering and the coloring will be in the next part of the series or whatever. So as you can see, I use the sketch. That's one of the first things I should mention. And why I'm mentioning that, it's because I never usually draw sketches. Some of you might have seen. I never draw sketches because I always know what I want to draw and I always know what I'm going for. But here I didn't actually know, because drawing planets as humans is not as easy as it sounds, because the planets are spherical and the humans are not. So to try and convey the same feeling the picture got into the banner in my picture, I had to draw a sketch so that I knew this is the plan, what am I going to do? Because when it comes to big pieces, you just need to have a plan, and that's what I did. Otherwise, you'd find Pluto here all the way in a corner, the sun not centered. Everything needs to be balanced. And you can't do that after you finish the lineup because that's just frustrating. At the end of this video, you'll see how crowded it gets, but it is frustrating to move everything one by one. This drawing was actually quite fun because for most of these characters, I haven't given them human designs yet. For example, Pluto, Sharon, Eris, Maki, almost all the dwarf planets, and all the moons of Uranus, Neptune except Triton, um, and a few others. I haven't given them human designs, and it helped with my problem of drawing every single guy with the same hairstyle. I have to say that the rendering process of my drawings are definitely my favorite time, because when you're rendering, it's more into color theory, and I love working with colors. It's just something that I haven't been able to add into my line art, unfortunately, and I wish I could, but I've tried in the past and it's not really good looking. It never really ends up good. Like at one point I used to use a reddish brown color to alpha lock and then fill my line art layer, and it will look good, but sometimes it's just not clear enough, and it would show these extra lines that are really disturbing to look at. So eventually I would change it back to black. So I never thought that there was a point, and I thought that it's too much effort to be coloring in every single line underneath in the line art, because like then I have to color pick, decide which color, and then specifically on that line, the lines are thin, they're not going to be easy to color. So then after that you have to do all of that effort just so that it doesn't change that much. So while I do love colorful line art, I don't think I'm ever gonna do it again. I might try in my next video maybe, but who knows really. Honestly, when it comes to line art colors, it depends on the lighting. Like for example, sometimes if there's a rim light, you will add some white color lighting on top of your line art so the line art isn't actually visible. And I did that with a drawing I just finished recently. It will be on Instagram in a while when I'm done with the next few parts. So, one thing you all should remember is that the closer an object is to the light, the brighter the outline would be. So, for example, if an object is shown in bright light, then it would have a darkish reddish brown outline. But if it is extremely closer to the light source, then you will most probably find it white. That's just a few things you should remember. Anyway, moving away from that topic, I want to know what your guys' favorite planet is. Not related to solar balls, just planet. Because honestly, to me, I think Uranus. Uranus is a favorite. Generally, because we haven't learned that much. It's very icy. I don't like the cold, but it's just very beautiful. I like its subtle rings. It makes it look very pretty. And moons, in the moons category, I might say mm, Amun, Luna, plain and simple. Honestly, because that's the only one I've seen naked eye. Back to the drawing. Here we are drawing Triton, one of the main moon or former dwarf planet, theoretically, of Neptune. I would say that Triton from the Solar Balls is my favorite character because of the story, the backstory. I feel like there's a lot to talk about him, and I will have a lot to say about him because there's animatic coming up soon that hopefully you guys will enjoy because I put a lot of effort into it. But it's about Triton and it's about his story, and so far so good. Let's see if my motivation can keep up with burnout. And I changed Neptune's style, so I don't think I'll be posting the Neptune version of my Planets to Human series because I changed his style a lot. His clothes have certainly changed a lot. The only thing that I might have kept similar is his shoes because I haven't tied the laces in both of them. So here's the speed paint of the drawing, and from this point of view, you can actually see how crowded it actually looks. And this isn't actually the entire thing. I only realized after completely rendering this version of the line art that there was actually much more on the TV when you look at it. I didn't check Google for the image because I thought it wouldn't be there, but apparently it is, and I just I could have avoided a lot of trouble, but I didn't. I took the hard way. Anyway, so yeah, you see the final line art in a bit because I didn't after I finished fully rendering it, I didn't have the energy to like go back and make a new sketch and stuff like that. I just did it straight on the final piece. On Procreate, because this was such a big piece and it consisted of so many layers, I duplicated it 3 times. So there was one for the sketch, one for the line art, and one for the final piece. And only in the final piece will you find the full characters like this. The other two are like what the drawing process that you have seen. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have not done so already, please do like and subscribe because I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you all next week. Bye!